Do you put that on your deck?
Well, geez, because where else am I going to find someone who has 20 years experience working in the industry, knows how to grow, understands the history and the culture of cannabis, right? And respects the plant so much. And then, of course, never mind the skills of presentation and how to teach people and how to really create a good learning experience, right? So it is a real challenge. That is for sure. With that said, what kind of legacy do you want to leave?
Oh, so thank you for this question, because for me, the legacy around educating people so that there's a smooth transition for legalization. That's why I founded the National Institute for Cannabis Health and Education. We've come into the cannabis industry to be a bridge to bring people together. And then I think the legacy of really honoring pre-legalization cannabis industry, whether it's the activists, the growers, the producers, the retailers, and making sure that we are creating a comfortable space for them to thrive under a regulated industry. And I think the legacy of making sure that women are not only given a seat at the table, but women are supported in the way they needed to be the leaders. A lot of women are leaders. They're not comfortable with that title. They're not comfortable with the feeling of power. And I think that collectively we need to nurture more women to put their hand up and say, I'm ready. I'm going to do this. And we be there as a safety net for when things don't go well, because no matter how good you are at what you do, there will be periods of your time where things do not go well. And it's to do it on people's own terms. And that's a really big mandate at Grow Tech Labs. You know, if you look at how we've marketed and branded this, it's a very, very soft, feminine branding. That's not to exclude men. That is to communicate in a way that is being different than how companies have communicated. And we're happy that the level of engagement we have from women, I think, has increased because of the nature of how we are approaching this.
Absolutely. The time is ripe for that. You know, there's a women's empowerment movement happening now, you know, whether that's coming from the entertainment industry, definitely the cannabis industry. Like, what is the cannabis flower that we smoke? She's a female plant. Mm-hmm. And so there is a message that is ready and it needs to be shared. Mm-hmm. And so that is the legacy that CannaReps wants to leave, you know, is to first empower all and educate all so that you can have your own personal confidence. You can trust in your own independent skills on cannabis product knowledge.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. And how to serve others and how to guide people to match their preferences to quality, potency, taste, to the right product. And of course, sharing that message of compassion. You know, there's a deep-rooted value there, right? Because we just truly want to help people. We have helped so many people. People tell us we change their lives in every interaction. It's a life-changing experience. And of course, the way to unite. So in our experiences, we create these communities. And when they're once, I didn't know that it was okay to be open about my cannabis use, but I'm in a room with a whole bunch of other eager learners, and they just instantly feel comfortable. When we teach about land-raised varieties, we take people around the world, and then you feel united out of that too. Yeah. And it does not matter. Like, you're not taking race into it. No. You're just taking like this, what's so special about this region?
Yes.
Yep. And so it's kind of like food, right? I think we could just end a war right now if we just shared each other's food, right? And we just had a great dinner and you're like, you feel nothing but good and hot love and your heart. Same thing with cannabis. And if you want to try, let's say that I keep on talking about like a Hindu Kush variety. And so, let me take you there. Yeah. And so what's your ethnic background?
So I'm Indian. I was born in India, in northern India in Punjab, community of farmers. And I came to Canada when I was 9 months old, but grew up with a very Indian family. And so, no, for sure. Right. And that's why I began the podcast joking about when I meet people who come from diverse backgrounds, it warms my heart, because I think that's another important piece, is that we have to have people at the table who are representative of our community.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing, right? So in India, like, cannabis grows naturally there.
Oh, right? Bigger. I've seen plants taller than like 6 foot men.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So it's there. And actually in India, lots of places, cultures around the world, they're not of a strong stigma as there is in Canada and the US.
And so this is the interesting thing I think happens, which is a bigger study with immigrant communities, is that the countries that they come from have evolved, but they really hold on to the traditional values that they brought with them in the period of time that they immigrated to this country. So you're absolutely right. People in those countries are more open about cannabis than some of the people who have come into this country because they brought the biases of that time when they immigrated and they haven't shifted.
Yeah.
So we joke about that sometimes it's not even a joke, but it's a conversation around gender issues and other progress, whereas the countries that people immigrated from have moved beyond leaps and bounds, but people who came here still only remember their experience in that time. So it's again about redefining, taking off all of our lenses and redefining everything.
Absolutely. So it's a way to unite people, to build community, to create support, to educate, right? To bring great minds together.
Yeah.
And that's why you and I are in the same room together.
Yes, that's right.
And so, you know what? I just really thank you for your time. Every time we get together, it's real cool.
And same, right? Yeah.
And what's real cool is that we tend to share a drink together.
Yeah.
And the thing is, that's from one of my ways to create a friendship.
Well, and it's a very good way to create a friendship. And I hope that we get an opportunity to not only create a lot of friendships, but deep, meaningful ones where we continue to work and support each other. And I hope that the cannabis industry stays with the intention that it began with, which is around everybody doing well together as we support people to find their best formula for wellness based on what the plant has to offer.
Okay, cool. So if someone was wanting to get help from you, what's the best way to reach you?
Yeah, so if there's either an education piece, nichecanada.com, and then for GrowTech as the accelerator, it is growtechlabs.com. If you have a neat idea, it can either be at the seed stage or it can be more evolved at the acceleration stage. We will consider applications and support people in any way that we can. So just go online and apply.
Awesome. Thank you, Barinder.
Thank you, Julie.
Yeah, and for CannaReps, if anyone is interested in getting a deep level of understanding of cannabis, handle cannabis products, join a community of other passionate consumers and entrepreneurs, come to our Cannabis Sommelier course. We take it across the country. And the reason why is we really believe that cannabis is a multi-sensory experience. So to learn about it, you need to do it in person. And it's a really fun, exhilarating experience. And everybody, of course, just loves the cannabis tasting at the end, right? So to check that out, go to cannareps.ca. All right. So thank you, Barinder.
Thank you.
Well, a big thank you to this session's hosts, Julie Domingo and Barinder Rasood. Clearly two very well-versed and intelligent cannabis industry professionals. Make sure you give them a follow on social media, and while you're at it, follow the Herb Life as well and sign up to our email subscription for up-to-date info on sessions and tons of great articles showcasing exactly what the herb lifestyle is all about. A big thank you to everyone listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Sessions. Sessions by Herb Life is a production of Blue Dream Media, produced by Tiana Matliowski and executive producer Jill Pollard.